Dana White releases fighter from UFC. Sean O'Malley prediction. Hey, what's up everyone and welcome back to our channel. Today let's get started with Leon Edwards thinks Khamzat Chimaev is just a solid fighter. Back in 2021, Leon Edwards and Khamzat Chimaev were slated to square off in a highly anticipated showdown. Unfortunately, the fight fell through as the three-time Swedish national wrestling champion recovered from his battle with coronavirus. As their two careers went separate ways, Chimaev continued his unbeaten streak, defeating Gilbert Burns and Kevin Holland last year to keep the momentum rolling, while cementing his place as one of the most terrifying fighters on the roster. Although Jeremiah has been on an absolute tear of the welterweight division, Edwards isn't impressed. He gave his thoughts on Chimaev during a recent appearance on Michael Bisping YouTube channel.
Yeah, he's a good fighter. You know, I don't think he's what the UFC was building him to be, like this untouchable monster. You know, I think he's a solid fighter. He's good. You know, but
Edwards sets his sights on a rumor trilogy fight with Kumar Guzman at UFC 286. It seems as though he is not ready to close the book on a fight with Hamza. If the undefeated prospect wins one more fight at welterweight, Edwards is willing to give him a crack at the belt. So far, there's been no word on when Jeremiah will return to the octagon in the new year. From the sounds of things, the UFC is having a hard time finding an opponent for him this year, with Kobe Covington and Belal Muhammad both looking for fights. Many are hoping the UFC books Chimaev to fight one of the two contenders sooner rather than later. Who do you want to set your mind square off? Give us your thoughts in the comments section. Bo Nickal's UFC debut rescheduled for UFC 285. Undefeated prospect Bo Nickal's debut has once again been rescheduled. Back in August, Nickal made his presence felt when he picked up a first-round submission win on Dana White's Contender Series. The following month, he was back in action again, picking up a second straight first-round submission victory with two big first-round wins on Dana White's Contender Series. Nickal had punched his ticket to the big show. Just 48 hours after his win, Nickal was booked for a fight against Jamie Pickett at UFC 282. Unfortunately, the hype for the fight was short-lived and injury forced Nickal out, resulting in the UFC canceling the fight altogether. With the undefeated NCAA legend now healthy, the fight has officially been rescheduled for UFC 285 on March 4th. While Nickal is riding a three-fight win streak into the fight, Pickett will enter the fight eager to snap a two-bout skid that saw him lose two of his last three fights last year, after losing his first fight on Dana White's Contender Series back in 2019. Pickett got another chance the following year and didn't disappoint. After earning a UFC contract, he dropped two straight before bouncing back with a decision when to close out 2021. To kick off 2022, he picked up a decision victory over Joseph Holmes, before then being submitted by Kyle Daukaus in February and TKO by Dennis Talon in September. With a record of just 2-4 since earning his contract on Dana White's Contender Series, Pickett likely finds himself in a must-win position going into his upcoming fight with Bo Nickal. Give us your thoughts in the comment section below. Michael Johnson calls out Tony Ferguson for a rematch. Michael Johnson thinks the time is now for a rematch between he and Elko GUI Tony Ferguson, with Ferguson currently in the midst of a 5-fight losing streak that saw him knocked out by Michael Chandler to start the year and submitted by Nate Diaz to close out the year. Many are wondering what the future will hold for the former interim lightweight champion. Johnson took to Twitter to call out Ferguson, offering Al Kukui a chance to avenge his 2012 loss. Yo, Tony Ferguson, not sure if you're still in the big game, but if so, and you want to come back to 55, I'll give you a chance to redeem yourself, or we can do it 170. Also, let's give the fans what they want. Johnson is fresh off a unanimous decision win over Mark McKenzie last month that returned into the win column following a split decision loss to Jamie Mullarkey. Over the summer, the two men find themselves in wildly different positions compared to where they both were when they squared off a decade ago. At the time, Johnson had fought in the Ultimate Fighter Season 12 finale just 4 fights prior, while Ferguson was in the midst of a 3-fight win streak with the UFC that saw him win the Ultimate Fighter Season 13, before then rattling off 2 more wins. The loss was the first for Ferguson in the UFC and was the last one before Elko went on his legendary 12-fight win streak that spanned from 2013 to 2019. With both men at similar points in their respective careers now, do you think the time is right for a rematch? Give us your thoughts in the comment section below. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all the latest news from our channel. See you next time.